Welcome to the Sleepy Time Pod. Today, we delve into the tapestry of ancient Greek mythology, shaping a story that has captivated minds for thousands of years. It's a story that encompasses the very essence of human nature, our inexhaustible curiosity, our strengths, our vulnerabilities, and the ever-present spark of hope that guides us through our darkest hours. This is not just a story about a box and its secrets, but a deep reflection on the human experience. Join us as we travel through time, retracing the steps of Pandora, the first woman according to Greek tradition, and her fateful encounter with a mysterious box that will forever change the course of humanity. As the chapters unfold, you'll discover lessons of love, consequence, redemption, and the indomitable spirit of hope. So, sit back, relax, and let the echoes of ancient Greece transport you to a world of gods, mortals, and the delicate balance that binds their fates. This is the story of a chaste Pandora. In the beginning, when the world was still young and the heavens were untouched by the cares of mortals, towered the mighty Mount Olympus, its summit veiled in mystery and clouds. The gods and goddesses of this celestial realm ruled the universe with a balance of love, power, and wisdom. But not everyone was satisfied with the division between the divine and the mortal. Prometheus, a titan of immense strength and intellect, often roamed the lands of Earth, observing the early humans. Unlike the carefree deities who dwelt in the heavens, these mortals faced challenges and difficulties at every turn. They huddled in caves, at the mercy of the elements, and lacked the means to protect themselves from animals. Their lives were fleeting and full of struggle. One day, as Prometheus watched a group of people shivering in the cold, an idea took root in his mind. The secret of fire, an exclusive gift to the gods, can change the fate of mankind. This warmth, this protection, this tool of change can lead them out of darkness and into an age of enlightenment. Prometheus knew the risks. Zeus, king of the gods, specifically forbade sharing divine secrets with mortals. But the Titan's heart swayed with compassion and rebellion. On a moonlit night, he climbed Mount Olympus, crept into the room where the eternal flame burned. Using a large fennel stalk, he captured some of the fire and descended back to Earth. The humans, who were initially afraid of the glowing ember, soon marveled at its power. With fire, they could cook, forge tools, and ward off the dangers of the night. Word of Prometheus's gift spread, and humanity entered a new era of progress. But such defiance could not remain hidden for long. Zeus's fury was legendary. When he discovered the theft, his anger shook the foundations of Mount Olympus. It wasn't just about fire. It was a challenge to his authority, a breach in the sacred gap between gods and mortals. While Prometheus's fate was supposed to be its own story, full of chains and torment, Zeus began to devise a more complex plan. A plan to teach both the Titan and humanity the consequences of overstepping the bounds. He summoned the gods and goddesses, and together they created a creation, a being of unparalleled beauty and magic, a gift wrapped in mystery. This was the beginning of Pandora's story. The glittering halls of Mount Olympus were filled with whispers and anticipation. Word spread of Zeus's plan, and every deity, nymph and muse, were eager to be a part of it. The magnificent assembly hall, decorated with marble and gold columns, was soon filled with the divine crowd. Zeus, with his regal presence, stood center stage. Thunder rumbled faintly in the background as he began to speak, his voice echoing in the vast room. Prometheus dared to challenge the order of the cosmos. He declared, "But this insult is not his alone. Humanity, in its arrogance, accepted and celebrated this stolen gift. We will create a response, a being that will bear both our blessings and a test for mortals." A murmur of intrigue swept the hall. The gods, often used for leisure and revelry, were captivated by this new task. Hephaestus, the god of forgery, was the first to step forward. With his unparalleled skills, he will mold this new being from the clay of the earth. His fingers danced, shaped and tightened, until the silhouette of the woman stood tall and lifeless. Aphrodite, the goddess of beauty, approached next. She breathed life into the clay and gave it her beauty that rivaled the moon and the stars. Golden locks flowed down her back, and eyes as deep as the ocean sparkled alive. Athena, wise and just, wrapped the figure in white robes while imparting knowledge and culture. However, she also whispered a warning. This being would have to learn, evolve, and make choices. Apollo played a melody on his lyre, infusing it with a grace and sound that could soothe even the most restless soul. But it was Hera, the queen of the gods, who had the most decisive gift. She leaned in, whispering secrets and mysteries into her ear. Hera's gift was twofold: an insatiable curiosity and a capacity for deep emotion. This curiosity is going to be both a blessing and a possible downfall. The gods called her Pandora, which means all, giver, as she carried gifts from all deities. But Zeus wasn't done. He beckoned to Hephaestus once more, and the god brought out a magnificent box made of dark, polished wood, its surface decorated with intricate carvings and jewels. This, Zeus declared, would accompany Pandora to the mortal world. The box must never be opened. Zeus announced, his voice stern, "He carries the weight of the world, and his release will change the fate of humanity." Little did the assembly know that within the confines of the decorated chest lay the shadows of the world, awaiting their moment. The gods watched with bated breath as Pandora began her descent to earth. Their collective creation, a tapestry of divine gifts and potential trials, was on its way to meet its destiny and that of humanity. Down on earth, Epimetheus lives a life of contemplation and solitude. While his brother Prometheus was always forward-thinking, Epimetheus was reflective, often reflecting on the past and choices made. He knew of Prometheus' act of defiance and was well aware of Zeus's wrath. However, when he saw the radiant figure of Pandora descend from the sky, guided by a gentle beam of sunlight, all previous cautions and warnings vanished. Equally mesmerized by the expansive vistas of Earth and Epimetheus' serious gaze, Pandora felt an immediate connection. They both stood on a hill. where the world seemed to breathe around them. There were no words, just a shared moment of understanding, as if fate had woven their paths. As the days melted into nights, Epimetheus showed Pandora the wonders of the mortal realm, the shimmering rivers, the majestic mountains, and the countless creatures that roamed the lands. With each sunset and sunrise, their connection deepened. Pandora sang the songs given by Apollo, and in return, Epimetheus shared stories about the creation of the world, the Titans, and the interplay between fate and free will. However, within the blossoming beauty and love was the ever-present shadow of the ornate box that Pandora brought with her. The box sat in their home, an enigma that both charmed and horrified. Pandora, with her innate curiosity, found herself drawn to him often, tracing the intricate carvings, pondering the weight of the world he supposedly held. Epimetheus, having been forewarned by Prometheus, warned Pandora. Some things, he would say, are meant to remain a mystery, for in revealing them, we may unleash forces beyond our understanding. For a while, Pandora listened to these words, but as the seasons changed, the whisper of the box grew in her ears and integrated into her dreams and thoughts. It wasn't just about the contents of the box, but about the very existence of choices and the fine line between curiosity and recklessness. The two tried to focus on their life together, planting gardens, nurturing animals, and building a shelter of love and trust. Still, the universe has a way of moving toward its destined path, and Pandora's story was no different. With each passing day, the appeal of the mystery of the box grew stronger. The enigmatic chest, with its unspoken promise and threat, will soon prove to be the ultimate test of Pandora's will. The world has turned. Days merge into nights, seasons change, and stars dance their eternal waltz across the sky. However, in the cozy abode of Epimetheus and Pandora, time seemed to hang suspended, enveloped by the enigmatic presence of the ornate box. Their home was filled with the music of laughter and singing, the comforting rhythms of everyday life, but the silence of the box staff was palpable. Each evening, as the last rays of the sun kissed the horizon, Pandora would find herself alone with her, drawn to a power that was both external and deeply rooted within her. The whispers of the gods, the weight of the world they mentioned, the secrets it might contain, they consumed her thoughts. Why was it sent with her? Was it an unexplored blessing or a test of restraint? The questions were endless. One evening, when a storm was brewing on the horizon and the wind carried stories from distant lands, Pandora sat in front of the box. The dim candlelight flickered, casting shadows that seemed to beckon her closer. The room was filled with charged silence, as if the universe itself had held its breath. She remembered the words of Epimetheus, the cautionary tales, and the possible consequences of her actions. But the essence of Pandora, the core that the gods had embedded in her, was curiosity, and in that moment it trumped everything else. With trembling hands, she approached the bolt. Just a glimpse, she reasoned, to quell the storm of questions in my heart. When the lid creaked open, there was not only silence, but the absence of all that was familiar. A whirlwind of emotions and shadows erupted. Grief, jealousy, despair, and disease. They rushed out like closed rivers bursting their banks. The cacophony was deafening, the weight oppressive. In a panic, Pandora tried to close the lid, to trap the remaining evils. But they were fast spread to every corner of the world and stained the purity of the earth with their presence. Tears streamed down Pandora's face, the realization of her actions hitting her like a tidal wave. She unleashed suffering on humanity, changed the course of fate. The box, which is now almost empty, seems to mock her with its hollow echo. But amidst the chaos and regret, a soft glow emanated from the box. From its depths emerged Elphys, the spirit of hope. Alert and glowing, she approached Pandora, her presence a balm to the confused soul. While the evils were many, hope was strong. She whispered words of comfort to Pandora. In the darkest of nights, it is hope that lights the way. Share me with the world, for I am the antidote to despair. Pandora, though heartbroken, understood the depth of this new responsibility. With hope by her side, she sets out, determined to heal the world's wounds, one heart at a time. The world has changed. Whispers of Pandora's selection spread like wildfire. The released shadows manifested themselves in various conflicts, jealousy, illnesses, and sorrows. People who once lived in simple harmony now felt the weight of evil lurking in corners and moments of vulnerability. However, wherever there was darkness, a gentle glow followed. Hope, with her radiant wings, fluttered from village to village, from heart to heart. With every touch, she instilled resilience, courage, and the promise of better days. Driven by her deep regret and her newfound purpose, Pandora traveled to Hope's side. They passed through dense forests, crossed vast deserts, and climbed towering mountains to reach every soul. Along the way, Pandora sang songs of atonement, sharing her story as both a warning and a lesson. Epimetheus, realizing the gravity of his beloved's journey, joined them. Together, the trio symbolized the cycle of actions, consequences, and redemption. Over time, Pandora's box became a symbol, not of the evils it once contained, but of a balance between curiosity and restraint, despair and hope. Temples were erected in honor of Tikva, and on their walls are engraved stories of Pandora's journey. As years turned into decades and then into centuries, the world evolved. Cities grew, cultures merged, and societies flourished. While challenges remained, the spirit of hope was deeply woven into the fabric of humanity. The lessons from Pandora's story have resonated throughout time, that in every mistake there is a lesson. In every shadow there is light, and even in the darkest moments, hope continues. In the twilight of her life, Pandora stood on the top of the hill where she first met Epimetheus. Holding the now empty box, she whispered her last prayer, a hope that will forever guide the human heart. And as the sun set, casting a golden hue over the world, the legend of Pandora, with all its pain, love, and wisdom, became an eternal testament to the strength and spirit of humanity. This is our story for today. I'm Abigail. Good night and sweet dreams.